Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back here with you on Hit or Quit, the only podcast that asks you if a show is a hit or if Jenny and I should quit watching the podcast. And now here she is back again to talk about Judge Steve Harvey, season 2, episode 3. It's Jenny Autumn. Jenny, how are you?
I'm excellent, Robbie. If you had asked me like months
Yeah.
ago, do you think that in late May 2023, you're going to be podcasting multiple episodes of a show called Judge Steve Harvey?
Right.
I just simply wouldn't believe it, but here we are. And it's been a time. It's been a fun little 2-week stint with the Judge Steve Harvey. I really did not think that this would be something we would do more than 1 week of, but
Yeah, we're back.
we're back.
We're back. Steve Harvey. We got 3 new cases to talk about here
Yes.
tonight.
I like the structure, the 3, like 3 cases. It's nice and structured, and it's
so we'll
fun.
talk about all 3 of the cases that's going on. A lot of couples suing each other. That you know where I come from, when couples sue each other, that usually that's a divorce.
They're not couples anymore.
Judge Steve Harvey is the only place where it's like a husband is suing his wife for $4,000. Like, I didn't know I could sue my wife for money.
I was literally going to come into this podcast to say to you, I was like, through this episode especially, I have learned things that I could be suing for that I had no idea. It's like any petty argument you have in your relationship where you can find some sort of like monetary like equivalent for whatever the argument is. Like, you can take that person to court, but it has to be Judge Steve Harvey specifically. It's the court of common sense, okay? That's where you have to go. Of course, common sense, taking your partner to court.
The plaintiff, Rob Cesternino, is suing his spouse, Nicole, for $2,400 for expired meats that she has bought and left in the refrigerator, only to not cook them and have them thrown in the garbage over the past 6 years.
This was the idea I had. I was like, what would Phil and I like sue each other for? And it's like, oh, like we got like groceries and someone had a bad day and decided we're getting pizza and now the groceries have expired, and it's like I'm suing for $28 of produce that went bad. It was your decision to get the pizza, so I'm actually just gonna need that money. Like, that's what is happening on this show, essentially.
It's tough because I think that generally, I feel like that telling your partner how they basically have wasted money or owe you money. Like, I feel like it's generally considered a faux pas, unattractive. But at least in Steve Harvey's court, you can take your spouse to task and then make Steve Harvey say they have to pay you money.
Like, this is my biggest nightmare. Like, the anxiety I would have about like not realizing I owed someone something, or like having to talk about like, oh, well, like I spent money on this, and so like you owe me money for this. Like that whole dynamic. Imagine all of the steps that you would have to go through to like settle this on Judge Steve Harvey. It's like not only am I feeling like, I paid for the trip and, we were supposed to split it. We're going to have to do all of this paperwork and casting so that we can settle it on national TV in front of, yes, that's right, a fake Judge Steve Harvey.
Fake Judge Steve Harvey. Now, we do have for you here tonight 2 married couples who are going to be going before Steve Harvey.
No,
I'm
one of
sorry.
the
I'm sorry.
couples is not
One is
married,
like
Rob.
a common law married couple.
Not yet.
And then a married couple, and then also cousins. But the cousins allegedly one cousin has disowned the other cousin.
It's a real family affair on episode 3 of Judge Steve Harvey season 2. It's really
Yes.
keeping it in the family. Like, these
Yes.
aren't like, former business associates like Jim and Steve. Like, these are
No.
people that have legitimate relationships with you. That's why, like, Judge Steve Harvey is not court. It is like family and couples therapy with like some sort of financial piece where Steve decides, the Harv decides who gets what.
They find people, and it's like, do you all want to be on The Amazing Race or Judge Steve Harvey? The two of you seem to have like a very interesting relationship. We can see it going either way. Either we put you on the race, or just
I will
go
say,
and
I
fight
think
for $5,000.
in my situation, if you're Phil and I feel crazy saying this, I personally think that we would have a better chance of making money on Judge Steve Harvey than on The Amazing Race. I don't love our chances on The Amazing Race. I do think that I could make Steve Harvey give me money.
Yeah, Judge Steve Harvey has a higher floor, and The Amazing Race, I think, has a higher ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hard to totally whiff on Judge Steve Harvey.
I think that like I could probably handle it. Like I would be aiming for that. You know what? I like you, so I'm gonna give you money spot. Like I think that that's my niche there.
Okay. All right. So we'll be talking about all that. How's your week going, Jenny?
My week's been pretty good. Like it's been a week, and Survivor finale was excellent last night. Like I had such a great time. Like it's good to enjoy the show that you're watching.
For sure.
Because we know that there have been shows that we've watched that we're not fully enjoying.
Yeah.
But the commitment
Jenny,
is
did
there.
you happen to see that this week I talked about on some of the podcasts that there is the Critics' Choice Real TV Awards? Did you happen to
Farmer
see this?
Wants a Wife.
Yeah, not only is Farmer Wants a Wife, but also Survivor 44 was nominated for Best Ensemble Cast of a Reality TV Series. And did you see what they're up against?
Special Forces.
Special Forces, World's Toughest Test.
I had seen the relationship show one that included Farmer Wants a Wife. I had seen that already on Twitter. I think actually Jason Reed, our lovely guest from last week, brought that to my attention. But I did not know about the ensemble cast until you mentioned it was
ensemble cast in an unscripted series. The nominees are Below Deck: Sailing Yacht, Dancing with the Stars, RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars, Special Forces: World's Toughest Test, Survivor 44, and Vanderpump Rules. So we will find out the results, Jenny, on June 15th, I believe, is when they will be announced.
I will be waiting with bated breath to find out how Special Forces: World's Toughest Test did in the ensemble cast category. I'm like, I don't know. We could have an upset.
Could be an upset for sure. So,
someone might be upset.
Yes, as always with Special Forces.
Yeah, there's always somebody upset.
No nominations for Beyond the Edge, unfortunately. No nominations for Joe Millionaire.
Yeah, why wasn't Joe Millionaire in the
maybe it wasn't for your consideration.
Previous year.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. And then of course we're getting ready for a busy June. This is going to be the summer of Hit or Quit. Of course, we're going to be covering Claim to Fame. But have you started to see any of the promo around Stars on Mars?
Rob, I'm on that Stars on Mars trip. I'm NASA'd up. I'm ready. This looks so bad.
Yeah, premieres on Monday, June 5th on Fox. I saw a trailer coming for it where Lance Armstrong, that some of the other people that Lance Armstrong is with on this pseudo mission to Mars, they are confused. They think that Lance Armstrong has already been to the moon before.
Which is excellent. This is exactly what we're hoping for. If you're getting an Armstrong on a reality show called Stars on Mars, you need to cast other people
think that Taryn has been to the moon.
Honestly, probably. There are people
Mhm.
that think that Taryn is your son.
That's true. That's true.
Like, like I
I'm
can
gonna sue
believe it.
them. I'm taking those people to court.
Yeah,
But
that's what you do. You sue your family.
Your Honor, Steve Harvey, I am suing this person from Twitter who thought that a person who podcasts with me, who is not my son, that he's telling people that he is my son, Your Honor.
Yeah, and so I'm suing you for $5,000 for mental anguish and also another $350 for the paternity test that we will be taking to
Yes.
disprove this.
And yes, Your Honor, while yes, it is possible that biologically, yes, he could be my son. If you were familiar with my life story, you would not be assuming that I would be getting to any of the bases at that age, Your Honor.
We were not playing baseball.
We were not playing baseball. That
It
was
was not
that was
occurring.
that was a metaphor, Your Honorable Steve Harvey.
Are you familiar with the bases? I want to hear Steve Harvey respond to that.
Yeah. We have a Steve Harvey soundboard. Maybe that would help with this conversation.
That has to exist, right?
Yeah, let's see.
There's no way it doesn't.
Steve Harvey soundboard. I
What do
don't
we
want to
got?
see. Yeah, okay. Steve, can I tell you what about the bases?
Oh, hell no!
Okay, all right.
He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. I don't think this case is going well for you, Rob.
Sorry about that.
He's turning on
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Damn, man. Why your mama breast white?
Okay. All right.
Steve, you can't just ask that.
Yes. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. All right.
Damn, dog, that's your mama?
What is
Why
this? This is all Family Feud? What is
Why
happening
does
on
everything have
Family
to be about my mom, Steve?
Yeah, Judge Steve Harvey definitely like is giving like loves yo mama jokes. Like that is like still peak humor to him. Like his humor has like not evolved since like your mom jokes were a thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
As long as we know it went down in there and come up in the front, oh, it's gonna be some hell up in here this evening.
That honestly could have been from Judge Steve Harvey. Like that actually could have been a Judge Steve Harvey clip.
Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. Judge
You should keep
Steve
that
Harvey.
handy.
Oh, and also there's a Reddit Steve Harvey.
There's a Steve Harvey
A
Reddit.
Steve Harvey subreddit. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, is it pro Steve Harvey or
Oh,
not?
I don't know.
I
think it could go either way.
Yeah. Not a lot of people on the Judge Steve Harvey or the Steve Harvey subreddit. 669 folks on the Steve Harvey subreddit.
It's not specifically for his legal endeavors, just for him as a person.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Jenny, let's talk about the case of Jordan versus her boyfriend Brandon.
Yeah. And of course this guy's name is Brandon.
Yeah, Jordan and Brandon and Dylan are the three people involved in this case.
Like I actually am like, are these their names? Because it's like it's a little too on the nose for me.
Yeah. Jordan is what? Jordy, at least two
Double
N's.
N.
Double
Yeah.
N's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Brandon and his friend Dylan.
Okay. And so Jenny, can you tell us if you set the case up, why is Jordan suing Brandon for $6,580?
Yes. So the title of this case, this is another thing I love about Judge Steve Harvey, is every case has a fun title. So this is Gaming Bromance, where Jordan is upset that, and I was like trying to piece this together as it was happening. So she's basically suing her active partner
Of many years,
father of her children, 2 children, I believe they have, and like $500 or $5,350 of equipment, and then another $1,500 for distress, because I guess he spends all of his time playing video games with his friend Dylan. And part of the like reason she's upset is because he plays with Dylan and not her. So there's like a jealousy like component there as well. Like it's not just like you are constantly playing video games and you're not helping around the house. It's also like, and when you do play, you don't choose to play with me. You play with your friend Dylan, who we also learn works with Brandon. So they already spend all day together at work. And Jordan is upset that when Brandon gets home from work, he fires up the gaming system. He's still in his little chef coat and he's right on there with Dylan, who he's just spent the whole day with.
Yeah, so Jordan has bought all of the gaming system for Brandon. Now, this does feel like that a mistake on Jordan's part, that, you know, where she is not getting what she wants out of the relationship. Why is she buying more gaming stuff for Brandon? And we get like an itemized list of that Jordan is a big itemizer. She might be like she should go work for the IRS, I think, maybe, because she's very good at tracking just how much she spent on every single thing. We will get like a diary of how many of what Brandon is doing with his time also.
The like down to the minutes spent playing video games each day for 10 days. She logs it.
You don't want that.
Listen, she's got the receipts. Like she is ready. And yeah, like this is kind of confusing because it's like when you're this is why this is so strange to me, where people are suing their active partners. It's like you are in a relationship. You've been together for several years. You have children together. How are you like spending money on each other and then going and being like, yeah, you actually owe me for this money that I spent for something that you use in our joint household. Like,
yeah, well, I'm starting to think that maybe this isn't real. Because
are you just
yeah, I kind of feel like that most couples, you know, most from what in my experience, I feel like that most couples and people, even if they're not married, I feel like often they like share like one pool of money. And it is hard.
Even if you don't share bank accounts, it's like there's a general understanding. It's like, I get this one, you get the next one. It's like you have like these unofficial understandings of like, I don't know. I'm just talking from like the relationships. I have been in several relationships where I cohabitated with my partner. You know, we lived. Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, what a flex. I have had failed relationships before. I would be a great. That's why I'd be like Steve Harvey.
How many Xboxes did you buy?
I don't think I bought an Xbox. Oh no, I did buy an Xbox in high school for a guy.
Okay.
That's messed up.
Wow.
Actually, I was in high school and I bought an Xbox.
And now it's in your Xbox.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna make the joke because I was gonna say now. Actually, I'm the Xbox. I said I wasn't gonna say it, and I just said it anyway.
It's fine.
So.
It's fine.
It's fine. But anyway, you like when you're in a mature partnership where you are living together and sharing finances, I don't think that you can make the decision to buy things for your partner for leisure as a gift and then turn around and try to sue them for that money when it doesn't work out the way you wanted it to.
Yeah, I didn't know this was possible. I feel like so many things of Your Honor, I bought this gift and she doesn't use it, so I'm suing her to get the money back.
Yeah, like this was a poor decision on my part. I made a choice and it didn't work out. So I would like to turn back the hands of time and get that money back. Can you help me with this?
Yeah,
like,
no.
We're suing about things I didn't even know you could sue about.
Right. So I kind of thought that Brandon did not have a job. I thought that he was kind of just like home all day playing the video game system. He does indeed work.
Yes.
The issue is seems to have a pretty good job. He's a kitchen manager at a country club. I mean, that sounds like that's he's a manager. But when he comes home from work and before he goes to work, he is on the gaming system. Boy, these must
TV
be
gaming,
some real good games that he's got.
Well, I mean, I saw that itemized list that Jordan pulled out, and like she spent like $2,000 on like disc games, like
Disc
literal
games.
physical games where like you have like the CD-ROM for it. Like I didn't
Yeah.
realize. So I don't know how old these games are. I didn't realize that people were still getting like the literal. I thought everything was digital at this point,
I
but
thought so too.
like so he has got a lot of stuff, and there was like a really big TV that he plays on and stuff.
Yes.
But I guess so the other issue that comes up here is that they are not even engaged. They have children together and they've been together for like 5 years or something like that.
Mhm.
And it comes up like, so Jordan basically says, I'm basically the wife, but I don't have the accessories.
Yes.
So to which Brandon explains, like I don't make a lot of money and I feel like she deserves a really nice ring. And so like I don't want to propose until I can get her something that she deserves, which I think is a completely reasonable, like, that's like that's the nice thing to say if you're just gonna say a reason that you're not proposing to your girlfriend, I guess.
Yeah, but I didn't get the sense like it's one thing to say that, but then it's
Is that the truth?
I think it's yes, but what if it's not the truth? I think that's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
yeah, but if you're
yeah.
not also actively like working towards that, like I feel like
Yes.
you're just saying that.
Are you saving any money? Are you working towards that goal, or are you just waiting for you to fall into a pile of money
Yeah,
to
the
the
only
point where you
goal
feel
he's
like
working towards is like getting more kills in
yeah,
video game.
sniping some zombies or something? I don't know. I don't really know what kind of video games he plays, but
Mhm.
a lot, I guess, many.
He plays a lot.
Yeah.
And we met then Dylan, the best
Yes.
friend.
I love when there's a witness.
The witnesses are very good. And
Yeah.
Dylan does seem to have a better relationship with Brandon than Jordan has.
Yeah. Well, clearly this is the problem. The case is called gaming bromance. Jordan is jealous that Brandon is spending his work time and leisure time with Dylan. So but Dylan was great because he comes in, he takes the witness stand and he explains to Steve Harvey that like, yeah, he plays a couple hours with Brandon. He also has a fiance and kids at home as well. And he drops my fiance isn't bringing me on Judge Steve Harvey.
Yes.
Like just shades this relationship so hard by being like, yeah, I got a fiance, but she's not bringing me on Judge Steve Harvey to complain about
Which
my
is good.
gaming.
That's a good sign for a relationship.
Yeah. It's a really good
Yeah.
sign if you don't have to bring your partner onto fake court.
Yeah, Jenny, we didn't touch on this yet, but Brandon, I think, lost Steve Harvey in the room pretty early on.
Very early.
Very early on when that he talks about how like, well, like I do work, but she also does stuff, and she does the wife work.
The wife work, which when you have Steve Harvey mad and like against you for your sexist comment, like you're in trouble. Like that's his bread and butter, okay? Like if you are too sexist for Steve Harvey, then like you're in trouble.
Yeah, Steve Harvey is gonna have some takes by the time we get to the third story. But here he's like, Brandon is like, oh, let me explain what I mean by she does the wife work. Even Steve Harvey's like, no. We all know what you mean by the wife work.
We know what you mean.
We got that. Yeah.
You can't
we know
walk
what you
this
mean.
back.
Yeah.
He's so blunt. He's like, yeah, I think you lost the room. Yeah. This is not going to go well for you.
Yeah, and so we get a lot from Dylan about like, I don't know, it seems like there was like incriminating photos also of like where Brandon was was Brandon in Dylan's arms or was Dylan in Brandon's arms?
Dylan was in Brandon's arms. It's just like a playful old friendship photo. But like Steve was so disturbed by it. He's like, what is this? I've never been so close with a
yeah.
friend that I'm like jumped into his arms. Like,
Yes. And not just that, that also he said that in the photo, you could see Dylan's butt crack. And
yeah.
Steve said, I have many friends and I've never taken a photo where they are in my arms and you can see their butt crack.
And that is where I was like, I've been Dylan. I like
No,
listen,
okay.
low-rise jeans were a thing of time, and I'm almost positive there is photo of me in the not anywhere you guys can find.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure there
In
is
the
a photo
Xbox.
of me
Yeah.
in my female friend's arms, and my butt crack is a crack-a-lackin'.
It's exposed. Crack-a-lackin'.
So it might just be an old photo. Maybe the men's low-rise jeans were a thing then too. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Steve, what's so bad about a little butt crack? You know what I mean?
It's just a look.
Uranus is up there. Uranus is right.
Yeah. I guess so.
It's just a little anus. Your anus. He doesn't want to go there. Stars on Mars, June 5th or 6th or whatever.
Are we live after Stars on Mars?
I hope so.
Probably not that night, but I don't think not that night. Okay.
Yeah, it might be late, but
yeah. Okay. So all right. Steve doesn't need to hear much more than this. Oh, actually,
No.
there's one other thing. That Jordan also claims that she then is better at the video game than Brandon is.
Yeah, so this was like another thing that she was upset about was that like she wants to spend quality time with him. So she is the one taking care of the household, taking care of the kids, making him dinner and all of this. And the reason she spent all this money on this is because she wants the little bit of time that he's at home to be enjoyed by him. So, this is her like way of being loving but she also wants to spend time with him. So she in her like own free time is like trying to get better at the games so that like Brandon can enjoy playing the games with her. And then maybe like instead of getting on with Dylan, he will play the video games with her. So there's like this weird point where like she's like, I'm just as good at the games as him, if not better.
I know. Well, I think that you think that this was like she lost respect for him. It's like, wait, like he's not even that good at the video game. It's like
and he's
playing
so
this
much time.
He spends so much time and he stinks.
It was like almost 38 hours over the course of 10 days. Because she logged it.
Yeah.
And he's working like 10-hour days.
Yeah, and he plays before he goes to work. I don't know.
Yeah.
And do you think that he's just playing the video game just to talk to Dylan? I think I saw a Black Mirror episode like this.
Are you insinuating that it's just like that maybe he actually does love Dylan?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy.
I don't know.
I
don't know what it is. I think, well, here's the thing is like, this is his bestie. They're stuck at work all day. And they have a shared interest. So then when they're not working, they can finally like do something fun. But like, this is the one point where Steve Harvey actually kind of takes Brandon's side, because the rest of the case, he's like, you are like subhuman, you are scum. But he says that like well, first of all, I've buried the lead. We get the episode title where he asks Brandon, let me ask you, how long have you been stupid? Which I think should be added to that Steve Harvey soundboard that you found.
That would be good. That'd be good. Yeah.
So he's pulling all of the punches at Brandon. Like, he thinks that this guy is a full idiot. But he does seem to like understand where he's coming from, because he says that his wife has like 4 sets of golf clubs, but he doesn't want to play like golf with his wife because he knows that she'll be bad and it'll like make it less fun for him.
Mhm.
So this is where he's like kind of taking Brandon's side, being like, I get it, bro. Like, you don't want like your chick to like
your video game
trying to
time.
like,
yeah.
like this is like no girls allowed.
No girls allowed, right? Right,
yeah.
right, Steve?
My wife right now. Whoa!
Oh. What about her? Just woo? Woo!
Yeah.
He really
All right,
has the Ric Flair. Oh my gosh.
yes. Well, all right. Steve has reached a verdict. But sometimes it happens very soon. It's just like,
Yeah.
this is, we just get to a point where Steve's like, all right, I've reached a verdict.
I love that moment because the crowd goes wild. It's like,
Yeah.
It's mid-sentence. He's like, I've reached my verdict. And everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a
this
turkey
court is
with like a
pumped up.
pop-up timer that's like, all right, okay, verdict's
Sorry.
done. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. He's heard enough. Time to go.
Yeah.
We only
All
have
right.
enough. Yeah. Well, that's how they fit these cases into the one episode.
Yeah, 20
He's
minutes.
gotta
We gotta
make a
go.
decision.
We gotta get to 2 more cases. All
Yeah.
right. But Steve is able, as we talked about last week with Jason, Steve is able to give away some money. He's got a budget. Okay.
Yeah.
Allegedly. And
Allegedly.
Steve is gonna be giving some money away today. Now, maybe does Steve have 30 does Steve have 30K per episode? Does he have 10K per case per episode?
Okay, that is an interesting thought because I thought it was just 10K per case.
Yes. Well, just to like not spoil anything, but Steve gives away well more than 10K. But does he have 30K for the day? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's got a day. He's got like a weekly budget that like, but he maybe shouldn't. He tries not to give more than 10K to a single case. I have no idea. Confusing. But he spends a little bit of money here. He and I love when he gets like moral about it, and he's like, because Steve wants all of these people to be like, he's a mediator here. He wants everyone to make up and for things to be okay again, and he facilitates that. So he basically gives like Dylan or Brandon life advice and said like, nothing's stopping you from giving Jordan what she wants. You need to be more present for your family. You need to cut back the video gaming. And so ultimately he awards $7,000, not of Brandon's money, which is also their money, which is like, that's why this is so confusing. It's like
she's garnishing his wages. Yeah.
If he is supporting your family, you guys are not ex-partners, then any money that he's going to pay to you is like money that he would be using towards, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really articulating.
I know what you're saying.
I just don't get it.
We're both in agreement here. This doesn't make any sense. Steve, how could you rule this way?
Money cannot buy you happiness. But I tell you what, though, it'll park you right in front of Happy House.
That is true. That is
I would
true.
love to be parked.
All right.
Near
No, but
Happy House.
Steve is going to give them $7,000 of his money,
his own money.
his judge money.
I don't think it's his bank account, but it's the show's money.
So $2,000. Sometimes there's like some complicated accounting. $2,000 was going to go to Jordan, correct?
So he said, okay, he's awarding the $7,000 to Jordan, but then he says, give $5K to Brandon, and he needs to spend that $5K on a ring for you. And then the other $2,000, get your hair done and buy some clothes, which I was like, is he shading her? He's like, you really need to get your hair done.
Yeah, Steve
I love the hair, man. I love the hair.
No, he did not say that.
He wasn't saying that. He said, get your
Opposite.
hair done,
Yeah.
get some clothes. Here's $2,000. No, to be fair, like I would love somebody to give me $2,000 to like go
Mhm.
shopping and get my hair done. But this is the weird thing is like he gives it to her, but he's like, then you give him $5,000.
He's not responsible, Jenny.
buy
That we've
the
learned
ring.
this. He knows
then-
she's good with accounting.
He said that if Brandon doesn't spend that money on a ring, if he sees him, he's going to knock him out. Like he literally
Wow.
threatened physical violence on this man.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love that.
Okay. All right. Case closed.
Yeah.
Jenny, let's talk about case number 2. Okay.
right.
The battling cousins. Okay. What'd they call this one?
Trapped in the cargo van.
Yeah. Okay. So we're really
Yeah.
going for the SEO here. This is a very literal interpretation.
That
All right.
is exactly what is happening in this case.
Now the cousins are Michelle and Michael. This is a little
Yeah.
confusing.
Michelle and Michael. Real high stakes case here where Michelle is the plaintiff suing her cousin Michael for $450. That's right.
Mhm.
Just $450 for unpaid van rental fees. However, young Michael is countersuing for $5,000 for emotional distress and dry cleaning fees.
Yeah. This case was so dumb. I think this was the dumbest case that we've talked about here. I don't even understand how this got on the show. Michelle has some sort of like van rental company.
Yeah, she started her own
business.
luxury. Okay, so she calls it a luxury car rental company. But
Mhm.
the first vehicle that she got for the company is a cargo van.
It's a cargo van.
Is that a
Yes.
luxury car?
I guess so. Maybe
what
it's
kind of-
maybe
like,
it's used to transport luxuries like art around.
That's true.
Yes.
It's
And
only-
so
you can only transport luxurious cargo.
and Michael, he basically he took one of the vans without paying for it and then
Well-
locked himself inside of it.
Twice.
And then yes, and then wants to pay his cousin, wants to sue his cousin for $5,000.
I mean, that is a very simplified version of this case. So I definitely, when you put it that way, it's very stupid. And when you put it the way that I will extrapolate here, it is also very stupid.
Yes.
So-
Okay.
So it sounds like that there was a rental agreement. So he was renting the cargo van from his cousin's business.
Which
However,
he implied that she also forged his signature.
yes, because there was so for once we had a contract. It's like, oh my god, because like none of these people ever have anything in writing because they're just
Mhm.
like suing for things that they bought each other. And so she's got this like rental agreement that they show, but like the signatures are just like digital signatures that are just like a random like cursive font. And so
Mhm.
like Michael basically like insinuates is like, I didn't sign that. And then the Harv gets like a little bit like,
The
you know,
Harv.
he loves insulting people and being like, because I guess she mixed up like forgery and plagiarism, and he's like, it's not plagiarism, it's forgery. I've been
Yeah.
to court for it. I
He
know.
seemed like he knew a lot about that. I wonder if I
Yeah,
Google
he's-
Steve Harvey forgery.
He
if
said
it's
he's
like,
been to court for
yeah,
forgery.
I wonder if there's a story there.
There's
Let me
got
see
to
if
be a
that's on
story.
The Smoking Gun.
Yeah. So anyway, there was some sort of agreement. I don't know if maybe like she was
Yeah.
gonna give him like a family discount or something.
Steve Harvey sued for alleged fraud involving charity. Blames Oprah
Oh.
and Tyler Perry for bad financial advice.
Oh no. Sometimes you shouldn't get advice from Tyler Perry.
Mhm.
God.
Yeah. Okay. So he does.
How did
He
that
knows
work out
about
for him?
this.
Okay. Well, he did
Um,
say, he admitted, he's like, I've been to court for that. So anyway, we don't know the legitimacy of this rental agreement, but he's basically insinuating that he was just borrowing the van, but he was supposed to be renting it. And so I guess he was using he's like an art dealer or something, and he has a gallery, and so he was using the cargo van to transport art, a big painting or something. And I guess he went into the back to fix something and got locked in the back of the van for like several hours.
He said it was a windy day.
Yeah, so
and then the doors closed. Yeah.
And then there was no way to get out of it because there's not a handle, I guess, to exit from inside the cargo van. I don't know. So I guess there was like a window that he could stick his fingers out of, and so he was like trying to flag somebody down. But the real problem here is that it was hot and there was no ventilation in the back of the van, and he got very sweaty, Rob. And
he got
ruined
very
his
sweaty.
shirt.
He was wearing a $100 silk shirt, which does appeal to Steve because clothes are very important to Steve Harvey.
Yes. Yeah, that's why he gave $2,000 to Jordan
And
for it.
Michael wasn't exactly sure if it was just the sweat or was it this particular brand of deodorant that he used, which he vowed never to use again. Should he have sued the deodorant maker instead of his cousin?
I mean, he probably would have a better chance against the deodorant company.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it would make it onto Judge Steve Harvey. So
this guy, Michael, was horrible. I felt very bad for his cousin, Michelle, who got dragged here. Like a lot of times I feel like, are these people in cahoots? Michelle does not seem like she enjoys Michael's company.
I mean, she literally said that that he wasn't her cousin anymore and that he's disowned.
Yes, and she did
and then
not,
he's like, I disown her back.
Right. She did not ask to be like unblocked from social media.
No, there was no. Yeah, Steve was not ruling that anyone become friends again after this one. I think he was like, okay, you guys are not gonna be friends. But like, so. This case is just wild because like she's like, I just want the $450 that you would have owed me for the van, and like apparently he like blew up a family group chat, like
he like
complaining
told on her
about her and her like faulty vans, ruined his silk shirt because of all the sweat. He got locked in the van a second time when he got home because he's such an idiot. This guy did not learn his lesson the first time, gets in the back of the van with like no backup. Once again, it locks again. He's in there for another hour, has to flag down his freaking neighbor. Like,
yes, the neighbor
the shirt's
did
already
save
ruined
the day.
at this point.
The neighbor did save the day with that. The neighbor saw like the two fingers sticking out, and that was when he was able to come through and ultimately rescue Michael from the van.
Yeah, so this is the insane part of this.
Which is the insane part, Jenny?
Well, all of it is actually, truly. But like, he is suing for countersuing for $5,000, Rob. Okay.
Emotional distress.
$100 silk shirt and a $4.59 for dry cleaning, which was ultimately pointless because they couldn't get the stains out of
That's
it.
very reasonable for dry cleaning.
That's
maybe
a
you get
great
what you
dry
pay
cleaning
for.
price.
Yes. Yes.
And why are you even including $104.59 of $5,000 you're suing for? The rest of that is just mental anguish.
Yeah.
From being trapped. I will say this, Rob. I had a tiny little bit of empathy for him.
Okay.
Because
did you get locked in a van?
I did not get locked in a van. I did have a traumatic experience in my building's garbage chute room many years ago.
Yeah.
So I've never told this story on a podcast.
Okay.
So I live in a condo, and you know, in our hallway there's
a club condo?
Yes, it is. It's quite a club. It is club condo. So I wouldn't recommend this part of the club. It was not.
Would you
great.
say is it like Full Tilt Boogie?
You do tilt the garbage chute out to put the garbage down the chute, and there's maybe boogie in the garbage, so it's kind of Full Tilt Boogie. So anyway, I was taking my garbage out. At this point in my life, I lived alone, And this is down the hall from me. Like, it's like a couple doors down. It's just a little tiny hallway with a garbage chute in it, or a little room, tiny room. It's like a closet. Garbage chute, your garbage goes down to the garbage room. Perfect. Love it. So anyway, I'm taking my garbage out and the door shuts behind me. I put my garbage down the chute. I go to leave. The door will not open. And this is like literally like a concrete cell. Like, it's tiny. Something happened with this door handle and it would literally not open. And I start to panic. Like, I literally lose my mind. I don't have my phone on me. And I'm like banging on the door, like trying to get, and I don't live in a very big building. Like, there's like 6 floors. Like, it's not a very big building. And thank God one of my neighbors was on their balcony and heard me and came to my rescue, but they couldn't open the door from the outside either. Something
Oh my God.
malfunctioned in the fire department had to come, Rob. The freaking fire department had to come rescue me.
Oh my God. When did this happen? How long ago was this?
I would say maybe it was like 2018 or 2019, maybe. I
Okay.
don't know. It was literally so terrifying because I was like, once someone came and like realized I was there yelling, like, I was like a lot calmer. But like, the claustrophobia like kicked in immediately because this is like there's no room to move in this thing. It's literally just big enough for a body to come in and open the garbage chute and put it down. And I'm like,
Oh,
it's like literally a concrete cell with nothing. And I was like, and it's garbage. It was gross. I was like, get
was
me
the
out of
light
here.
on?
No, the light is motion. Okay, so the light is motion censored. So I had to keep moving to keep the light on because I was like getting panicked when the light would turn off. Yeah, so the fire department had to get called because the neighbors were like, I can't open it. I don't know what happened. And I was like, there is no lock function on this like handle. There's no way to get myself out. So basically, fire department came. They had to break the freaking handle to get me out.
Yeah. Did you consider climbing down the garbage chute?
I honestly thought that there was maybe a chance I could fit. There was a
Yes.
second I was like, how am I going to get out of here?
And would you have slid down into the garbage chute down into the dumpster?
Listen, if that was the only way to get myself out of there, I would have considered it. I was lucky that like I didn't have to yell for too long. I didn't have to yell as long as Michael. Apparently, it was like a couple hours that he was yelling.
Wow. Did you
But
consider suing your landlord, Jenny?
I mean, now I'm like, I should have
Take him
taken
to Steve
court.
Harvey court.
Listen, I can be suing for $5,000 of mental anguish. I like,
Mhm.
and it did traumatize me to the point where now, like 98% of the time, I make Phil take out the garbage because I have like anxiety about getting locked in that room. And
Yeah.
when I do take the garbage, I like hold the door open, like I won't let it shut because I have a general mistrust of this garbage room. So
Right.
I don't
That's
think
smart.
I don't think that he should be suing for $5,000 for emotional distress, but I do think that it probably was a traumatic experience for him. I understand that part because it
I
is
mean,
terrifying
yeah.
to get locked somewhere.
He sweat through his shirt.
I did not sweat through my clothing in
Mhm.
the garbage room.
Yeah. Well, you weren't
I was
wearing
not wearing a
silk,
silk
right?
shirt.
Right.
I was
Okay.
not wearing my best silk to take out the garbage.
All right. Steve comes to a ruling. And yeah, he does not rule in the favor of Michael,
No.
the art dealer.
I think he gave 140 or what $104.59 for his shirt and dry cleaning because so he literally gave him the value of his shirt and his dry
Yes,
cleaning
and the dry cleaning.
because he says he loves clothes, but he dismisses the mental anguish. He says that's not real. And
Mhm.
he like straight up mocks him. He's like he's like, I don't care about your trauma. That's stupid. But he does rule that he has to pay $450 for
Yeah.
the van rental.
So
So
he doesn't even pay out of his pocket. Like you could tell when Steve really did not care
yes.
for the person.
Yeah, he was not helping Michael out. I mean, he paid for his shirt, I guess. That was out of his own pocket.
Mhm.
So he paid $104.59 out of his own pocket. But he's also making Michael pay $450.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Okay. So
whatever.
Steve was not a fan of the cousins.
No.
Yeah.
He's kind of an idiot. Like, this guy was stupid.
Mhm. Let's talk about the third story, the hijacked wedding here.
Mhm.
And this is the story of Fran, Sean, and Nora, a married couple suing each other
Yep,
for
that's what we do here.
$10,000.
Yep, $10,000. And the reason, so Franchon is suing Nor, her wife, for a canceled wedding and honeymoon. And then I guess the explanation was the money that they were saving was then spent on like a fence.
A fence.
just normal
Nora, yeah.
household stuff.
Yeah, so they got married like during COVID in the car from the Justice of the Peace. And then
I got a vaccine in a car. I did not.
was there
I
a
knew that they
witness?
were,
Did you have a witness?
I guess Phil was a witness to. He
Mhm.
was also getting vaccinated in his car. We went to a drive-through vaccination clinic during COVID. That was a thing. I didn't know they were doing drive-through weddings during COVID, but apparently
Yeah.
they were.
Some of this stuff, just to say it out loud, is like, wait, what happened?
This
Like,
was
yeah,
a real
no,
thing.
we
Yeah.
did I remember I drove like there was like one day where Nicole was like, hey, there's some college campus. They're letting people come and get vaccines without appointments. Drive there and then just get in the line. I'm like, wait, where am I going? What am I doing? She's like, just go. Look for the line. Get in
Yeah.
it. Drive up. I'm like, I just drove around in circles, and then eventually, like people said, like, there's no vaccines here.
We're
Go
out.
home, everybody. Go
It was
home.
literally like a weird lottery for a while. Like early vaccine time was like it was Hunger Games. It was wild. We were out here just, showing up at random addresses because someone on
I heard
Twitter
a
said that it was,
thing.
yeah.
They're like, no, that's not true. Get out of here.
And this was like only a couple years ago. Like
Mhm.
I don't understand the life that we've lived. Like
Mhm.
it's insane. So yeah, I guess they originally were supposed to be married in April 2021. The theme was supposed, because Steve knows that there's supposed to be a theme for the wedding, I guess. Was supposed to be denim and diamonds. He loves it. He loves the sound of
Yes,
that.
he loves clothes.
To me, that sounds like a nightmare. I personally don't think that, you know what the theme of a wedding is? Wedding.
What? Mm.
Just it's a wedding. I don't think that weddings need themes. You just have the wedding. It's just a wedding, but whatever.
You don't like D&D?
No. No, definitely not.
Mhm.
Anyway, so they were supposed
I
to
don't
have
really
like
have
a
any
like
diamonds.
like I'm picturing like they were gonna be wearing like the Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, MTV Awards denim, like full denim getup, but like bedazzled. Like that's what I was
Mhm.
picturing like their wedding outfit would be if the theme would be denim and diamonds. But Steve Harvey was all into it. He was like, I need to make sure that this wedding goes on.
He
He's
loves
like,
clothes.
yeah, he loves clothes. He loves fashion. So they were saving money. COVID happens. Then so they still wanted to get married. So they were going to go to a justice of peace to still get married. And then they agreed that the next year they would do like a bigger thing with their family and friends.
Mhm.
And a lot of couples did this over COVID. A lot of COVID brides, they said, okay, well, we'll still get married and then we'll have a bigger party when things are better.
Yes.
But then like the courts closed. And so then
Not Judge
like,
Steve Harvey's court.
no, he's open for business.
Mhm.
And so they got offered to get married outside the officiant's house in a car. So that's what happened. And there was like
Yeah.
a picture of them in the car, like, and I don't know.
Look, people
is like
did
a
what they
big
had to do. They
Yeah.
wanted to get married, and some people like okay, this is the date we said, we don't want to push it, and so they got married, and they said, okay, we're gonna do the party down the road. It was very
Yes.
important to Fran Sean that she wanted a party for her wedding.
Yeah, and the problem was that somewhere along the line, the money that they'd been saving, we saw the picture of the cash in a water bottle that they were saving. Nor, I guess they had puppies, and then their neighbor has dogs, and like something happened with their fence, and they were trying to like protect the. I really didn't understand the story, to be honest.
Yeah.
Something was wrong with the fence. The
The
fence,
fence broke.
the fence needed to be repaired, and according to Franchon, all it needed was like one single post to be fixed. But Nora said, "Let's just fix the whole fence. Let's redo the whole fence."
Yes.
And so she spent the wedding funds and thought she was doing the right thing, the practical thing, taking care of the household. And Franchon is now suing her for this money because it was supposed to be for the party.
Yes.
Just
Now,
court stuff, you know.
fences are expensive.
I've
didn't
never
think that-
bought one.
I didn't think
Probably
that looked
never
like a
will.
$10,000 fence that was there. But we saw the picture, and Steve is very much on the side of, like, I would have thought that Steve was gonna be on the side of, like, hey, like, you promised your bride you're gonna have a wedding, you're gonna have a party. Why not do that for her? But actually, Steve is very much on the side of Nora, of Nor, and says that basically, like, wait, hold on. So she did the practical thing and she spent the money on something you all needed to fix your house, and you're upset about a party?
Well, here's the thing is that the Harv like thinks he's on Nor's side. He thinks that she did the right thing and did the thing that he probably would do and thinks is the right thing. But he's on his third marriage, as we mentioned.
Mhm.
He's learned some things, and this is where he like gets like openly sexist to the point where he says, I am being sexist. I am a 65-year-old black dude. Don't email me. I don't give a damn how you feel about me. I'm not making this up. These are real things he said. This is a quote. This is verbatim that he said. And he said that
My wife right now. Whoa!
exactly. He basically says women want things that they like the female thing, like the
Yeah.
feminine thing is like you want the thing that doesn't matter, and sometimes even though it's stupid and it doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
you still got to do it.
I think the fact that this was a lesbian couple here, I think that Steve felt like that he had like a little more leeway of like,
Yeah.
hey, all right, you're both women. Let me give you kind of like because I'm siding with one of the women, so
But then he was
inherently
still
this is not a super sexist take because I'm
But he
saying
was
it to a
still
woman.
doing the like, but you are both taking on a gender role here, and
Mhm.
I'm saying that like
Mhm.
Franchon is taking on
Wives are always spending your money on stuff you don't need. Am I right?
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And so you can tell he's like, Nor, these ladies, you know what I'm talking about here. She's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I guess so.
Mhm.
So anyway, he's basically insinuating that like it's stupid that Franchon wants to still spend this money on the wedding,
Yeah.
and that Nor did the right thing and was being more practical. But listen, you got to do what happy
gotta-
wife,
yeah.
happy life.
Yes. What did he get into? I felt like for like 3 minutes he was just like saying to the audience, like he was just getting like, it's like, hey, this is not funny. This
Because
is not, and usually had the audience just dying.
it got real silly. So what happened
Mhm.
was, when Franchon was showing the selfie of them in the
Nasty
car,
ass audience.
when Franchon showed the selfie of them in the car when they got married, I guess like there was laughter, and then she said, "This is not funny," and so then he was like. And it became like laughing in church situation where he was like,
Mhm.
he kept repeating, he's like, this is not funny. I'm not laughing at this. And then like the
Mhm.
crowd is laughing and he's like ordering them to stop laughing. And then she's laughing. He's like, what are you doing? I thought this wasn't funny. It like was like this weird tangent of like laughter about the
Mhm.
situation. It got real silly. I think that had to have been the last like case of the day. It's like this podcast in a way, Rob, where it's like this is your last podcast of the day. Like it gets a little silly. It's like things go out the window.
Steve had to speak to the audience.
How many times has somebody had to ask you to be quiet?
Yeah.
And several times during this case was the answer.
Yeah.
So I mean, ultimately he says, like, and I love when he does this. He's like, I like you. You're a sweetheart of a person.
You're getting the money. Once Steve Harvey starts telling you how much he didn't tell Michael or Michelle how much he liked them.
No, he did tell Dylan, the witness from the first case, that he liked him. He let him stay. He's like, you can stay. I like you, but I don't think he got any money.
Yeah, he liked him.
But
in the booth.
So he likes Franchon, says she's a sweetheart of a person. But she can't be suing her wife. So he throws out the suit.
Yeah. Well, there was another part also that got pretty wild where Franchon wanted to say, like, well, I really want to have a nice wedding, and I really wanted all my friends to come. And then did somebody from the audience yell out?
So Franchon said, I wanted my friends and my family there. And Nor apparently told Franchon, you don't even have any friends. And then someone in the audience said, and you can audibly hear them say, do you? Do you have friends?
Nasty ass audience.
It's a rowdy crowd at Steve Harvey, Judge Steve Harvey.
I love that the soundboard has something for everything. Like,
all right. So Steve knows what to do. Steve has reached a verdict.
I've reached a verdict.
Yeah, I've reached a verdict.
Everyone goes wild.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so he as you mentioned, he's throwing out the suit, and Steve would never throw out a suit. He loves clothes.
No.
So but he did throw out the suit for $10K, but we all know what's coming.
We know what's coming. He already said he likes Franchon. She's a sweetheart of a person.
Yeah.
He knows that she wants that wedding, and you got to make her happy.
But Steve Harvey rules in favor of giving them $25K. Now, Jenny, didn't we establish on last week's episode that Steve said, look, I've got $10,000 that I can give away?
Yep. That's why I was like, since when? Since when? Like, I can't believe we're at a since when moment on Judge Steve Harvey. But since when can he give out 25,000?
Yeah.
He literally said he can go up to 10K.
So in this episode, he gave out $7,000 in the first case, but it was kind of a weird, I'll give you 2 and then 5 and then give him 5. And then he gives math, and he gave out only like $450 and then
and the 450 was from Michael.
Okay.
That wasn't
so he basically
like
only gave out $100 in the second case.
Mm-hmm.
And then here he gives away $25,000. So over the course of 3 cases here, he gives away about $32,100, which I don't know if that's in his jurisdiction, if he can sort of save the money for a rainy day.
Yeah. Can you bank whatever you don't use for that week for future weeks? Maybe. I don't know. I think is this coming out of his own pocket? Is he's like, we'll do some accounting. We'll move some money around.
He moves some money around. Yeah.
But he literally told us last week that he has $10,000 and then he's quickly just like $25,000.
Yeah. So I don't know.
For the wedding.
He's Steve Harvey. He can do what he wants.
It's his court,
It's his court. Yep.
What is the point of the bailiff? She's just there for facial
She doesn't really
reactions.
swear people in or anything.
She doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe if somebody tries to attack Steve Harvey, maybe she's gonna
I mean, she's a real bailiff, and in the opening episode of the season, he said she normally has a gun, and said that this is the best job she's ever had.
I mean, it's a pretty cush gig to be Steve Harvey's bailiff.
Yeah, your job is
bailiff.
Stand there and react to the absurdity that's taking place in the fake courtroom. So. I guess a pretty good gig. So,
all right, Jenny.
Yeah.
All right, we finished talking about episode 3 of Judge Steve Harvey. Now, I have to be honest. I did not love Judge Steve Harvey episode 3 as much as I loved episode 1 and 2.
It definitely did not like. So here's the thing. I still laughed out loud a few times watching this,
Mhm.
unprompted, unforced, but not as much as I laughed last week.
Yeah.
There wasn't. It didn't. I mean, it was still entertaining, and I feel like I could find something to talk about with all of these cases, but it was not quite the banger that the first 2 episodes were for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Also,
I've still watched a lot a lot worse. So it's like,
mhm.
my standards are in hell at this point.
Right. And also, I've been trying to get my kids to watch it, and they're like, "Dad, we're not watching," because Nicole said she wouldn't watch it. But I
I
will
know,
also
I know.
say,
I heard you try to get her into
yeah,
it.
I'm trying to
It's
get her
not
into it.
happening.
Okay. But also, I will say that the next episode of Judge Steve Harvey is not on until June 14th. Judge Steve
Oh,
Harvey looks like he's
Giannis.
going into a bit of a hiatus.
Oh.
So this was episode 3. How long have you been stupid? And
Mhm.
episode 4, which looks like it is called Run Me My Coins. Steve
Okay.
Harvey welcomes a variety of conflicts and characters to his courtroom. That's the same description as everyone. But that is not going to be on for a couple of weeks till
Oh,
June
wow.
14th. So it looks like that even if we thought it was a hit, it doesn't look like this is going to be Steve
They
Harvey
decided
for next
for
week.
us.
So,
Yeah.
Jenny, we do have something in the hopper. A little show that deals with something from the world of toys, and it is called Hot Wheels: Ultimate Challenge.
I love a colon show, Rob.
Okay,
You had me at colon.
Hot Wheels: Ultimate
Ultimate
Challenge.
challenge.
It is coming to NBC.
Okay. That's
Okay,
legit. That's legit. You want me
to tell you about?
celebrities? Is it a celebrity show?
Okay.
Sort of?
Mattel Television is bringing together celebrity judges, automotive dream teams, and Hot Wheels superfans into a high octane competition show you won't want to miss. Hosted by TV personality and car aficionado Rutledge Wood. Does that name sound familiar to you?
No.
I believe Rutledge Wood. I believe he has hosted some other shows that I have podcast about.
Really?
I believe that he
Analyst?
I believe he is he's also the host of The Floor is Lava.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, he is. Yep. Floor is
Yes.
lava.
Okay.
Top Gear,
so
Lost in Transmission. He seems like a car guy.
car guy.
but
Hot
also
Wheels
a lava guy. And a
Hot
barbecue
Wheel-
guy.
Well, lava is hot. Okay, Hot
and
Wheels
barbecue can be hot.
Ultimate Challenge. It's a car makeover competition that gives superfans a chance to create the life-size Hot Wheels of their dreams and compete for the ultimate prize, having their design made into an official Hot Wheels die-cast car. That is the ultimate prize.
That is, I can't think of anything more ultimate.
Each episode will feature 2 Hot Wheels fans going head-to-head in the Chrome Zone.
I've always wanted to go head-to-head in the Chrome Zone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
Okay.
so there's going to be celebrity judges like Anthony Anderson, WWE superstar Big E, Terry Crews, Jay Leno, Joel McHale.
Oh, you have to have Jay Leno. He's a big car guy.
He's a big car guy. But ironically, you need a little car guy here.
Oh,
for
yes.
this.
But they're making the little cars into big cars. This sounds so quaint.
It's very quaint. Now, also, Hot Wheels: Ultimate Challenge airs on NBC, premiering on May 30th in the coveted 10 p.m. Tuesday night time slot.
That's where the great
Ideally,
shows go.
yes, where like all of the kids that love the Hot Wheels will surely be watching 10 p.m. on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Everyone I mean, keep the boys up
in
Rob.
May. Yeah.
We're staying up till 10 p.m. to watch Hot Wheels: Ultimate Challenge. Gather around, get your
yeah, take a nap during the day, kids, because it's 10 p.m. on Tuesdays. You know where we'll be.
Listen, if you
watching.
couldn't get Nicole to watch, Judge Steve Harvey, you're certainly not getting her on board to have family TV night at 10 p.m.
At
on
10 p.m.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Hot Wheels
I couldn't
colon
get my
Ultimate
kids to
Challenge.
stay up to watch the Survivor finale, let alone
I mean, that was
10 p.m.
it
on
went
Tuesday.
late for me even.
Yeah.
So I was pretty tired, but
All right.
anyway, we're treading water at this point, Rob. Like we
And then
have a destination we're getting to.
We're going to
eventually.
Mars.
We're going to freaking Mars.
Yeah.
So
We're going to Mars. Just a pit stop with Hot
I'd love
Wheels
a pit stop.
Ultimate Challenge. Liana Boris, who recaps Lego Masters on RHAP, will join us next week for that one.
Like I will podcast about literally anything if it means that I get to podcast with Liana. So like Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge.
Anything.
Sure. Like whatever. Liana wants to hang out and talk with us. Amazing. Sign me up. Like we are blessed. Okay.
Blessed. Okay. Jenny, what's coming up for you?
Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge next Tuesday, 10 p.m. baby, NBC.
Yes. Okay. I hope nobody gets locked in the back of their Hot Wheels.
Oh my god. Yeah, I hope they're not wearing silk shirts and the wrong brand of deodorant because that could be a disaster. Honestly, I'm just like just enjoying the listen. I think I've already said this. I am not mad at the late Big Brother season.
Okay. You're gonna enjoy your summer?
I like to go outside a little bit.
I thought
I
you were
have a busy
the
July.
queen of fall.
I am, but like I do like going outside and in fall as well. But like I tend to like make plans in the summer and I don't want to like be on vacation and be like, oh, I gotta go on Twitter and find out who won the veto. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it does sound pretty unappetizing when you put it that way.
I'm mostly just like I would prefer there to be more TV in the months where I'm more likely to just be at home doing nothing.
Fair enough. Okay.
And I understand it from a logistics standpoint that I don't really know what the fall looks like with 8 million different shows that the network is covering at once and how that works. Totally understand. But I'm like, people are acting like it's been pushed to February. It's just August. It's still summer. So I'm going to enjoy this next little bit where the fun, silly little shows that you and I get to cover, which are good. Like Claim to Fame is coming back. Like I'm so excited.
Jenny, we're gonna have to go to daily podcasts soon. There's too much stuff for us.
That's okay.
The networks are taking out the trash this summer. It's like writer's strike. All right, let's burn off all the shows that we've
but I don't want to go to the trash room.
This is your time.
Don't lock me in the trash room. I have trauma, okay? But I mean, it is kind of wild that like everything's coming out of the woodwork because, like largely because of the writer's strike where everyone's just like, this random reality show, we're just going to do this. So look, there won't be Big Brother multiple times a week, but apparently we're doing everyday
Jenny,
hit or quit.
We for months said like, boy, if only there were crappy shows on TV for us to cover, and we prayed. And
God hears and answers prayers. I now get to find out what the hell he said.
Thank you, Steve.
I can't wait to find out what he said.
All right,
he said, Judge Steve Harvey. Here you go.
Yeah. All right.
An embarrassment of riches for us here on Hit or Quit.
We'll be at Happy House very soon. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.